Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Duarte, Minnesota, the United States. Juja Wonwe, Johnsonville, Samson Carey, District 11, Gata, Ansu Coleman, Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia Headquarters, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Musa Sharif, Sophie Community, Congo Town, Ja Zobon, SKD Copper Road, Elizabeth Thomas, Waterside, 5th Kelvin Bapin, Block A189, Pipeline Road, J. Lawrence Paul, Magibi County, Romancio Latupan, Kenny Boy Orico for short chairman for life, everlasting chairman, down to F, common citizen chairman, alongside Jackson C. Poning of Iron Factory Block C community, member of Block 10 Intellectual Center, where the reigning king, the reigning prince, Romancio Latupan, Kenny Boy, is the melting pot. Everybody likes him and he likes and supports everybody. Good to have you on the show. Daha Jawian. Pastor, that's Ambassador S. Jimin. Pastor Melvin Destiny Harvest Power One from the United States. My dear Gion brother Stephen Coker from the United States, Washington, D.C. Good to have you on. And thank you so much for everything. You are a very good Gion brother, good man. Just few like you on earth. Sam Kumen, FDA, Bernard Farm, Yasser Sharif from the United States, here for Edwin Ben, that's Baptistville Estate, William Massaquoi, Pennsylvania, the United States, Exodus Morines, New Crew Town, Claudia de Paul, J. Winston Nelson, Plymouth, Minnesota, the United States, Choice Say, Goshen Community, Mount Buckley, Saturday, Woodaware, Atlanta, the USA, Vamuyan Fofana, George Bolly. The two Bollies, have not heard or seen them for a very long time. Zach Bolly and Richard Bolly, was the two, but the two Bollies. Yeah, one of them said during Weah's regime, he said he would never ever call Weah president. At that time, Weah was president, and he said he would never ever. He didn't recognize Weah as president. But see him today, he supported Unity Party. His party endorsed Unity Party. I think they're somewhere in Jalata, their headquarters. See him today, he walking by line. Looks so sorry for so pathetic. That's why you don't just condemn certain people in life. You bring curse upon yourself. Somewhere Augustine Old Road, Josh Theo Brown. That's ProSci, University of Liberia. They endorsed the protest, July 17, which we will talk about briefly. Roland D. Down, Grand Bassa County, Ishmael Rahims. Okay. And the names are just like when you open Fossil. Navarro's M. Good to have you on from Toronto, Canada. Okay. All of you are great people. I appreciate all of you. It's so great. Time is of the essence. We are giving out money today to the King's Cash giveaway. Dial *79 and *24 hatch and get 4,000 on today, Monday. 4,000. Just play with $1 only or 70 cents US, and then you have your 4,000. Also, King Support Basket is on and we encourage you. Thank you so much. You've been responsive. Some of you have shown concern. These numbers are on the screen. For those of you here, the orange number 0777 017885. The send wave 0555 885 885. The orange 0777 017 017885. Everything ends with 885. Any number without 885, it is not King's FM. Somebody trying to dupe you. Every number ends with 885. 0555 885 885. The orange 0777 017 885. Thank you. You can continue to send your contribution. We will appreciate, as you have always been supportive of us. Thank you so much. At the same time, keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. It's 4,000 today, just $1 or 70 cents, and then you can have your 4,000 to get your day started in this economy of Judo Christopher. So we got a couple of things to talk about. At 4 o'clock, the head of the group will be in that will be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock sharp. He is the head of this pro-democracy group. He will be in, Christopher K. Seaton, to talk about his organization is fed up with all things corruption in Liberia. Under the Unity Party-led government, and he's in at 4 o'clock to talk all things his organization has seen, Center for Economic Crimes and Security Studies. Until 4 o'clock, the issues we got to share with you. Well, the atmosphere isn't that conducive for the government. No, it is not conducive for the government, but it's not a surprise to us here at King's FM because we've been talking about those things. We saw it before it occurred. The signs unfolded themselves. We read into the signs or the political indicators, and we knew exactly what would have come out and what is going to come out from the meeting with President Trump. What is going to come out right now, sorry to say, but it is the reality. President Bakai, our president, is being coached. He's trembling. He is being told what to say, how to conduct himself in the gathering. And they thought that the United States or President Trump was freak for what is happening in Liberia, that Bakai is keeping the country stable, no protest, because they think that when people protest, then there is no sign of good governance. So when people aren't protesting, when the citizens are not protesting, and then their interpretation is, yes, everything's stable, that's good governance, and on and on. So they proud their decision on that, and they went about congratulating, sending out congratulatory messages. The president is going to meet the president of the United States. Congratulations. Bakai has scored another political capital and a lot more. And we said it didn't make sense in any given way to congratulate when you have received an invitation and the content of the invitation or the content of the meeting is not known yet, or the outcome. You can only be excited when the outcome of the meeting favors you and it brings a dividend or so much dividend to your country. But it doesn't make sense at all to go so gay, so wide, flooding social media, taking on to radio stations, congratulating Bakai as if Bakai is the only president or African president that the United States government has called to the White House. It is just an opportunity for Bakai, but the content is troubling. And I've been wondering over the hours whether our president will have any significant impact in that meeting. I know for a fact it's not going to be a strict briefing. They will be afforded the opportunity and time to raise their voices, but it's going to be, hey, Mauritania, Liberia, XYZ, this is what we call you for. This is our interest. We've seen you've done this, you're doing that, good, but this is what we need. Already, what did we say last week? I brought several lines to you from Marco Rubio, who is the United States Secretary of State, on the restructure, modify United States Aid for International Development, USAID for short. And Marco Rubio was clear. He said they are now prioritizing trade over aid, opportunity over dependence, investment over assistance. American taxpayers' money will not be used in no given way again to fund failed governments far away. Moving forward, their assistance will be targeted and time limited. They will favor those countries that have demonstrated the ability and willingness to help themselves and will target their resources to areas where they can have multiplier effect. These few out of many, I said last week in my presentation that the meeting, Joseph Bakai is factor into this. Just when we left the show, the United States government came out with a statement, though not extensive, but the content was clear. The same line as used by Marco Rubio was in that statement. It stated, go on the U.S. Embassy website. This identical statement that he made, they are now prioritizing trade over aid, opportunity over dependence, investment over assistance. Today, but before today, what happened over the weekend? What happened over the weekend before today? The pressure. Too many things. The government or officials of the government, together with the president, had been very busy in a confused atmosphere. The signing of a deal that is known unto themselves on Sunday. They barred the media. They prevented the media from going in to know anything about it. A shady deal, a secret deal, a covert deal. Only they don't know about it. And then the United States government, the newspapers are reporting. Front Page Africa is reporting a detailed position on that and how there is uneasiness even in Washington. The Liberian Investigator newspaper is also reporting. If you haven't had the chance to get a copy, well, then I can share with you some of the lines. Here is what Front Page Africa is reporting. One, that the United States under Trump wants to thwart China's global influence through tariffs and tough rhetoric. It has caused serious uneasiness in Liberia with these, how they call them, Ivano or Ivanho, formerly HPX. This deal, the paper claim, is being pushed by people within the United States Department in a manner that contradicts American strategy or strategic interests, potentially handing influence over critical mineral routes to Chinese-linked entities. The paper went further to say that some of the people, like Laura Lomo, who took to her social media page and would tag some of her Republican colleagues, including Ted Cruz, and other people, with this headline, Trump's golden age at risk, pro-China deep state. And the company itself will give its position in a very short reply, as Front Page Africa is reporting it. It said, Ivanhoe Atlantic, like many U.S. companies operating in foreign jurisdiction, which means foreign countries, has commercial advocacy status under U.S. guidelines and is appropriately supported by the U.S. Embassy. Notwithstanding, no U.S. Embassy staff or U.S. government official was ever a party to negotiations with the government of Liberia. Get this? But the U.S. government came out with a statement. Please listen to this, the last line in this response they gave to Front Page Africa. Notwithstanding, no U.S. embassy staff or U.S. government official was ever a party to the negotiations with the government of Liberia. Granted, you know how America operates? They allow you to do everything on their behalf. They will not get involved, but you're working for them. It's just like what the United Nations had when UNMIL was here. They will allow you to sign a waiver, meaning it is in their interest, but anything happens to you, they are not responsible. So even though this is not the exact, but I'm telling you how America works. They will allow you to do it. They will give you the backing, the rhetorics from the back. They will not come in the forefront. But they will use you as surrogates to promote their interest. At the close of the day, they benefit at your detriment. This whole stuff that we're talking about in a couple of days, you will hear the misunderstanding, the confusion. Now, given the intricacies of this whole situation, who the country is looking up to give leadership to this thing in that meeting? Joseph Yuma Boakai. Does he have it? Well, I don't know. Atmosphere can overwhelm people, but I am not sure Boakai going to make anything significant over there. The American finished with it. The meeting was on this thing. What Boakai and the rest of the guys going to do is, okay, this is what we've decided. You know, we want it this way, we want it that way. It's nothing going to be of a lecture. No, it's going to be partly imposition. You know Trump. He looks in your face and say, oh, Mr. Bakai, this is the American interest. This is what we want. You think about it and get back to us. Simple as that. My man, the man faced top world leaders. He subdued them. Then Amele Bakai going to sit down while he first time going in the Oval Office. Just the atmosphere alone, it will overwhelm him, at least to talk about the people that he carried. Those are petty men and women to turn on Donald Trump. In fact, they will be overexcited seeing Donald Trump sitting in the Oval Office. If they were, they will have the meeting. But what I'm telling you, everything that meeting, that what we've been talking from last week. That's what we've been talking. That's what we've been talking from last week. Nothing. They did not call Bakai and the guys over there because the government, their countries have done extremely well. They continue to do extremely well in good governance, security, human rights, and on and on. The people call them strictly for business purpose. That's why they say trade, over, trade over. They'll prioritize trade over aid, opportunity over dependence, investment over assistance. They're not going to be giving you aid. They're not going to allow you to depend on them for your survival, but rather they will strike a deal by which both parties can benefit. And when they put their proposal onto the table, you will have to tell them what you got, what you bring. And listen, at the close of the day, this country will be like this. That announcement that came out today, they say 1.8 billion. Listen, they're coming to deplete Liberia resources real good. Because this country, this is not the first time of this thing. Come on. This is not the first time that Liberia have had significant deals and the people of this country being happy. What have you seen over the years? The country is still in its dilapidated state. It is still there. Nothing has changed. America being here. What will you hear from America of, oh, America has so much investment in this country. America has invested so much here. And people are excited. Oh, yes, that's true. They did some great investments here. But those investments did not resonate to anything tangible or infrastructure development in this country. But they are our partners now. So they stay depleted. On the other side of the politics, they will not give into certain interests because two people of like mind can compete. And just like Lone Star does not want to compete with Sercom in a certain place, and Sercom does not want to compete with Lone Star in a certain place. One should have each of them claiming or will claim monopoly. That's how they feel they can operate. Good. So President Bakai is on that side. He has left already with his people. And the U.S. Embassy issued a statement from that meeting. You heard the line I read from Ivan Hall or Ivan North saying that they were not a part, notwithstanding no U.S. Embassy staff or U.S. government official was ever a party to negotiations with the government of Liberia. That's the statement they gave to Front Page Africa. The U.S. government came out and issued a statement. I had thought, just as they congratulated Joseph Human Bakai, they would have gone far and wide with this statement. Here is what the U.S. government released through the embassy here. It said, the U.S. Embassy welcomes the signing of a concession and access agreement between U.S.-owned Ivanhoe Atlantic and the government of Liberia. This estimated $1.8 billion deal is a crucial step towards Bakai's objectives of developing Liberia's multi-user rail, RAIL, rail policy and securing new international investment. They know how to coin words and phrases. By increasing U.S. investment in Africa, we drive mutual prosperity and support Liberia's move from aid to dependence, meaning you're not dependent on us, but we provide the enabling environment by which you can develop your own country, prosperity. So what does Liberia have? The natural resources, rich. Why are they focusing on Liberia? Because have they benefited from Liberia? Yes. Are they continuing benefiting from Liberia? Yes. Do they want to continue benefiting from Liberia? Yes. Have they done some significant things for Liberia? Yes. Why hasn't Liberia developed if they have done significant things for Liberia, because the leaders have been very greedy, always pocketed everything that they look good and the country suffers. So I had thought that the officials of Unity Party, like they were congratulating Bakai when the information came out, they were going to run with this. But nobody has time to run with this. You know why? Because they know. They know how it's going to end up. The people from within, they know. It's not just a mere thing. What kind of American president would sit down and just call only 5 presidents and say, you can't talk about Africa? The 5 presidents running Africa? Common sense should tell you there's a reason. And these are not the 5 countries that are making significant strides. It only means that they have certain interests within these countries, given their natural resources and other things that the American government wants to exploit. So the best way is not to do it by sending people to them. So let's call them at the Oval Office and speak directly to them. That way they can be convinced than using proxies or representatives. So Bakai was being coached. I want to share with you, before I go to something else, the contradictions about this whole thing. The government officials contradicted themselves. They had several contradictions in it. Our president told us that it was $5 billion deal with HPX. The American government comes to say 1.8 billion. So you want to ask yourself, who is telling the truth, where the actual number is? Mr. President said 5. The US government comes out this morning with 1.8, and it said, oh yes, it will profit Liberia. It will take Liberia to another level, and on and on. Prosperity, or Liberia will move from poverty to prosperity. I want to share with you the many contradictions, in it. That is why government officials have to be careful. It is not everything. The same thing they were complaining in We Are Government, say, oh, every official was speaking. Every official was speaking. The same thing we see here with them. Everybody is speaking. Everybody giving figure. And now it is embarrassing the very government. The president was signing the secret deal before running to the United States. He lied to HPX, yet to submit the bill for implementing the multi-user to the legislature. The executive mansion said $5 billion. The American government posted $1.8 billion deal with HPX. What happened? Before then, Bakai economic advisor, how did he term that deal? Disrespectful. Moreover, he violated the ArcelorMittal agreement signed into law. The executive mansion will refuse to publish the signing of the agreement, even on the official page. So you see, they have placed Bakai in the Englishman say, precarious position. Is going to be difficult for him. Terrible. So those of you who were just overly excited, Unity Party people just yelling all over the place, congratulations, congratulations, the President Bakai has made a breakthrough. Hold on. When you get an invite, you don't be excited, especially when the invite is sudden. When the invite is sudden, you don't go gay. You don't go running all over the place, excited when the invite is sudden. Sudden invite means you're not expecting, you don't know anything, it just comes. That's how that thing came up. People just start saying, oh, President Bakai will be going to the United States. The president of the United States invited 5 presidents. That's when they start giving Bakai real understanding and start coaching him up to the time he left. Going to the United States, I don't know why he decided to use private plane. He think the people are going to ask him on. Let's get to another thing that will be doing it for that. Then let me talk this. The July 7 protest, which is constitutional, but Compton discussed it at length. Israel too discussed it at length on his show. I'm not discussing that, but I just want to provide you an opener or a caution using a figure. It is all but fair in life. You cross over, it is your right. Nobody forces a person to stay in an institution. Moreover, if that institution is not viable as it was, you can either choose to help it become more viable, or you leave it quietly and say nothing. But when you choose to become a legalist against that institution, the people whom you are fronting from, or when you try to portray yourself as a good citizen, they've already know that you are a pretender. And even if you're using that as the bridge to get to them, they will not even trust you if they ever accepted you. And I am referencing Kanye Gbagbala. Throughout this thing came up, I've thought not to say anything about it. We'll just leave it with the understanding that he will just look at it at a certain point and just allow sleeping door lie. But it seems that he's going to the extreme, and I think he has allowed himself to be used as a surrogate. And as a lawyer, you don't want to find yourself in a situation like this, because in the past, prior to coming to power, you supported protest. You defended it. He provided his legal expertise. He explained the Constitution. Today, he has whatever the reservation with CDC standard bearer or the party or certain people within the party. He's opposing everything the people on the other side want to do. And I think that is wrong. That is why I thought to come with it. Mr. Kanye Gbagbala got to look at his error in this whole stuff. This is what he said. And I think he said he alternative approach to the July 17 protests. He said, to the leaders of the July 17 movement, I respectfully offer an alternative approach. Rather than initiating a public protest at this stage, I encourage you to methodically document by date and detail any alleged constitutional violations or acts of governmental overreach. Armed with this evidence, seek a formal audience with His Excellency President Joseph N. Bakai and present your case with clarity and conviction. Such an initiative would signal not only a desire to hold leadership accountable, but also a commitment to democratic dialogue and constitutional reform. I am aware that some may view this position as an attempt to dilute the right to dissent or may evoke the Unity Party support for similar protests. I understand these sentiments. However, emulating the missteps of the past does not legitimize them in the present. No, contradiction. Sorry, a contradiction. You see why this society has always never been an enlightened society? Because the very people who you expect to to give guardians, they fall. I'm not saying that he's doing it for money, but yesterday he did not condemn any. When it was being, when Unity Party people, Ellen Johnson Sally said, no, we can't protest, you can do this, you can do that. He defended or he opposed and said it is the Constitution. You have to do that. In fact, Kani Ogbagbala is on record as one of those who advised President Weah when the president did not see it fit for people to just protest. Every day, Monday you protest, Tuesday you protest, Wednesday you protest, Thursday you protest. He was one of those who advised President Weah expressly that, Mr. President, it is the right the Constitution provides for that. What we can do is to provide protection. It is based on these legal people pieces of advice that President Weah allowed the people to protest and provided security for them. If you want to get recognition from the other side, it's not how. Moreover, you cannot be within the institution and you're depriving or you suggesting an idea which, by logical reasoning, you're saying, oh, look, my man, you forget about that thing, man. You leave the government. You have any problem, you go and sit down with the government. When these same people yesterday, this proposal was made, Kani Ogbagbala, you are a practical witness. When we are called for dialogue, did they go? Mo Ali, who was the spokesman, followed by the other people, what did they say? We can't sit with the president to have any dialogue. It is our right to protest. The Constitution provides that. And they quoted all of the articles within the Constitution that called for that. You were here. Did they sit down with President Weah? No. Come on, man, Chief. You're telling our politics that other people from other countries, body people there, check their own country, but it's so beginning and they call politicians. So to close on this, the guys will protest. Protest is not war. Just as Unity Party positioned themselves, they resisted every reasoning from the government, and they went out, demonstrated their will as provided for by the Constitution, and they were protected, which was a good democratic tenet that everybody enjoyed. They will do on July 17th. The Constitution provides for that. Bakai will either choose to be undemocratic in the eyes of the international community, dictatorial, tyrannical, despotic, or democratic leader. His predecessors supported protest, even though every one of them was not as people would want it, but most of them, they ended peaceful. People went home. When you cannot respect the rights of the people, your government is autocratic, dictatorial, despotic. Preventing the people from exercising the right does not say that the country is stable. It only means the country is there's instability, insecurity. Because when the people are suppressed and repressed and trampled upon, you don't call that democratic atmosphere. When the people are groaning within their hearts, when they are hurt within, when they are being suffocated, you don't expect, that is not a peaceful atmosphere. President Bakai was in opposition. He supported protest. Yeah, many times. Because of his health, he could not come out. But I think one or two, he was on the fringe of it. He cannot tell us that he did not sanction or did not approve protest. He did. Now he has the test before him. And I'm sure, besides this trade and investment meeting they are going for, there are other things Donald Trump will put in his face. I'm sure. And when he come back, you have a U-turn. So, Kanyo, you have to respect the people's right. Then there is this propaganda. You CDC people, you're not smart. It's up to you people. We can be talking to you people every day like children. It's not a nursery place we are. We are in a place of men and women. This is a warfare. The strategy of Unity Party is to discourage the people to give no support to July 17. How many times you open your eyes? You get your eyes on the paper. You open your ears. The people they are writing, they've told them to put the public against the organizers of July 17, and that you don't come out at all. So you know what they're doing? They're getting on social media, acting like they are part of the July 17. They disguise themselves. So they're writing, we're coming outside on July 17 with 20 caskets. We're coming out on July 17 to demonstrate all the people, seditions that were killed as a symbol, and a lot more. But you are not the one who's doing it. But because you're sitting down and you're hoping, just waiting like Kafka for 2029, so their strategy is, look, what we can do is, let's say something so that the people will get discouraged and nobody will turn around. We were successful with Federa Patrick protest that led to the expression regroup. And we were successful with this because they would do everything to neutralize. They would do everything to kill the protest. That's the strategy. They know that constitutionally it is your right. Moreover, they know consciously they did it before they defy. And their defiance worked because the Constitution supported them, as it supports the July 17 protest today. So they feel that if they go the constitutional way, they will not win that. So what they can do, since they have the money, they infuse dollars into the weaklings, the vulnerables, the peasants and the downtrodden, those who feed on crumbs for survival. Give them some money that they write anything, because the people will be afraid. And then say, you're right. You tell them we're just coming from 14 years of civil conflict. We don't want to go back to war again. Or say all of those things. Say some evil things that will just discourage them. That's a strategy. That's the media strategy they have embarked upon now. Did Moluba Molu tell anybody that they will bring casket outside? That CDC people who die, they will come out as a symbol? That CDC protest? That's not CDC protest. But they are doing it so that you will be discouraged. So that the atmosphere, they'll say, oh, the people, you see, that what we're talking, the people want to cause war. The people want to do this. You see the kind of thing, they'll take memories back. You don't mind that thing. Nobody, ain't no party protest. It is 10. Solidarity and Trust for New Day. It is no CDC protest. It is Liberian protest. Somebody must organize a protest. An institution can organize a protest. Ain't no political party protest. You don't listen to that crap. But you seditions have to counter them. What I noticed of you seditionists, you people are only you people like Kafka. You know Kafka's situation? Kafka was hoping for a time. And Kafka did not know that all of the things that were happening to him, they were happening in time. Time was fading. Before Kafka could realize it, it was late. You hoping for 2029. They are using all their weapons. They've opened their arsenal against you. What are you doing? You have to counter. I often tell you this is a warfare. The entire life that we're living, the only time your warfare ends when you die and you're in a box called casket. But as long as you are living in it and everything that you go through on earth, it's a warfare. You're battling to survive. People battling against you. You got the devil battling against you. You don't have this. You are poverty stricken. You need to come out of poverty and on and on. You need money. You need this. All of those things are what? Those are characteristics of war. Politically, you find yourself in a terrible warfare. And if you can write, if you can counter, if you can do anything, the guys will continue to write. They're disguising themselves. They're coming up with pseudonyms. Pseudonyms, I know I will not use my Sam Andrews. So I will create another name, another character. And I will write in a way that when people read it, they'll say, oh, yeah, CDC man, yeah, you see what the CDC man are writing. That's how the guy's doing the thing. And you seditionists too, you're sitting down there, you're not doing the same thing. You counter. These guys create different pages all over the place. Put things about them. Tell people what they're doing. They will say, no, they're not A. That's when you will know the real from the fake. But you're sitting there. Okay, let me move. Then we can take few calls while we're with Mr. Seaton. So Kalasco gave us another information. He gave us another information apart from what the Vice President Joy Howard Taylor said. Joy Howard Taylor said that Bakai had problem. She had gone to visit him. She did not know that he was ill. They sat and talked almost an hour. When she left, she received a call that Bakai was not faring well. And she said that, oh, y'all can say laboratory. People when I say I want to do something to that bear, I want to visit. So she said immediately she called former President Weah. And as usual, all of us know that, for the president says, all of us know there's nobody except the unborn children or the ones who don't have that history. They just come out, even as that the history is available to them because people telling it orally. But those of us who were around when Weah was playing, that one part, we can talk it from no political context. We'll talk it from what we know, what we saw. Naturally, we are helped a number of people. If we just sit down and brag of what he did for people, even the people who stay around, they will be shamed. But it is not for we are to say. It is for us to say because we saw it. Naturally, that's how we are looks. So I'm talking about other politics before we get there. Naturally, we are help people in this time. Even Kalasco explained his story. We heard it. How many days he was just beyond Weah. Weah told him to go and all. He came back. Weah went to Ghana, playing spotted here and said, oh, Piki, you stay here? Or he explained that story. Kalasco get it. So Weah look at it. Weah say, my Piki can't. He like, God, you attach you to me, so I can throw you away again. All the footballers that made hair waves, Weah gave them life. Weah gave the national team life. Weah gave money to other people in this place, in this country, who were not attached to football, who were not playing football, nothing. He saw their condition. Even out of Liberia, Weah was out of Liberia taking a football money, sending a year for people to survive. Which some of his very colleagues who were playing, they did not even send a dime back after Weah gave them life. God first, Weah second. Meaning that I help you so that you will help the next person. That was Weah policy. When I help you, open door for you, you open door for another person, because that's the same way God works. God doesn't bless 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 persons at the same time. He blesses one person, and that person blesses another person, and that person just like that. So when God opens door for you, he's not opening a door for you to relax and brag and boast of it. He's opening that door because there's another person that needs assistance. So you now will move to help that person, and that person too will move to help another person, and that person help another person. And that's what it is. That's why he said, be your brother's keeper. Reach out to each other. We are God first. We are second. Mr. President, back to politics now. Weah did not help Bakai because he was president. As I look at it, Weah helped him out of his natural self, out of his humanity. Meaning, that's who the person is. He's naturally good. What did Carrasco tell us? Carrasco said that Weah used to give him envelope to get to Bakai so that he will survive. And I believe Carrasco. I believe Carrasco 100% because we knew Weah before he became president. We knew Weah, even though technology was not very advanced, but we used to struggle to watch Weah play. We saw some things when Weah come down. Every time Weah came down, it was an opportunity for very many people in this country. And very many people were touched. His house was the hottest place. It was the epicenter. It was the nursery center. It was the old folks' home. It was the elderly home. It was the home of the downtrodden. It was the home of the politicians. Most of these politicians that bragging today, we have money gathered, and some of them, we have took them out of this place. He made contact for them to get out, even though some of them, they show that ingratitude. But it's left with God, that God can pay it, and that we are not boasting all over the place. So today I'm saying is, so you will know what I've always wanted, that what is happening in a warfare, it will reach a point wherein you can't be silent any longer. When you find yourself in a culture that is not enlightening, that is rumor-based, anything people say about you, they will believe it. Anything the government put out, they will believe it. You look at it, since Samuel 12 came up with that thing on Gafwan. You hear Gafwan saying anything? The brother Gafwan, and he's thinking. When he comes back from the United States with the president, I sure you have a conference to give his side. But since then, since the man said it, since Samuel 12 came out, and you saw how it shook the government, they're quiet. Because that's what God said in Matthew chapter 7. If you think speck is in your brother's eye and you want him to take it off, make sure that you don't have any dirty clothes in your closet. Make sure that you did not do anything funny, you're hiding it, because it will be exposed. And once people get to know, you can no longer say to anybody or condemn anybody. That's what he meant in Matthew chapter 7. If you think speck is in your brother's eye and you want him to take it out, no problem. You can checkmate him. But as you do, please make sure that you don't have any fault, that you are sinless, that you are pure, you are white as snow. Because when it is sin or you are exposed, you can no longer talk about that person whom you are talking about as being corrupt. Samuel 12 release it. Yeah, the other one, yeah. Some of the people, who came out, the Minister of Information, Pia. I tried looking for that recording and get it here, but I will get it. Pia had a news conference and Pia said, we are never give any money. Okay, it was just around the time he was talking about the benefits when former President Joao Taylor said she wasn't receiving her benefit. Okay, that's when he talked about that. Kalasco made it clear. You go on Kalasco page, is there. When he went to dedicate the bridge he constructed, he said, we are used to giving envelope secretly. And that's the traditional means. You don't have to tell anybody. He said, take this envelope to the vice president. At this point in time, we will give Kalasco, say, carry it to him. And that's how Bakai was surviving. Until when he nearly fell off. And we had to charter a plane using almost 200 United States dollars and paying the bills to get him out of this place and paying the hospital bills and bringing him back. All of these people today that causing, we are saying all kind of things, we are taking country money. That country money we are took to keep Bakai alive today. Had it not been for we are, you think we would have had Unity Party today and the people that had it not been for we are? All of the people that were around, they had any time to have taken Bakai out of here. They were sitting down there. They had no time to even take Bakai to JFK. They did not even want him to go to JFK because they did not trust JFK. Bakai only sitting down there. But all in all, don't be ungrateful. So we know. We have Joel Howard Taylor information that Bakai suffering from heart attack. I know. But she said a heart problem. I think that's what she said. A heart problem. And given the nature of it, they had to fly him out of the country. We've come to hear Kalasco saying that we are used to give envelope to him, Kalasco, to carry to Joseph Yuma Bakai so that he will feed on, so that he will get life going. Let's take a few calls, but before then, keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. Dial star 799 star 24 hash. Play with $1 or 70 cents, just for 4,000 Liberian dollars. You can get that 4,000, and then you can start your day. Yeah, can start your day. Alex Kalu said, "Thanks for coming up. The names of Unity Party is just evil." Or Conan Yakuba. Let me see this. Yo, what's small? We'll get to yo, what's small? I want to see something. Somebody is saying something. Okay. 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 Conan is giving information. Okay. Okay. Yes, he's explaining. He's confirming we are natural self. We are good self. He says, Sam, one former central defender of Guinea, his name is Mamadi Kaba, died. We are sent him to Europe, particularly Marseille, France. And he say it's on YouTube. Okay, he says it's on YouTube. Okay, so let's go. Thank you for that information. Good. Who else? Perry Slobart said, you want to keep it short? said the government putting on scary tactics, the July 17 protest. That's why they are saying the protest is CDC, even if that political party protest, they are Liberians. All right. Yes, that's true. You're right. Okay. Let me escape the conversation that you're having, which is good. No politician. What we are did, Michelle Benson, what we are did, you are right. No, I can name you one politician that ever did that. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah. He also, Michelle, there, this is lady. She also said Boaga needs to tell us what happened to the Liberian people money, 8 million from Central Bank that he sent to clear his. Also, you know that way. Too many corruption under their belt. So they're using all of these things so you people will not focus on it. And that is why you seditionists have to be right. Oh man, the guys creating a distraction. Do you know? Check. Nobody, you will not hear anything about that reburial and burial of the dolls, the how they call that mausoleum they had, or the reburying of Talbot, the expenditure. You will not hear anything about it. How many dollars they spent? Nothing. Jaso Mala, the Minister of Education, who lived in America, Darius Dillon, Senator Darius Dillon, encouraged his sister-in-law to come down, and he made her Minister of Finance. Boakai will take most of the initiatives and put it on her lap as if she is the only person. You already notice that most of the thing, the president can appoint Jaso Mala. You all hear him appointing or giving that initiative to gender minister or minister of health and social welfare or this other female minister. Almost everything is headed by Jaso Mala. You will never hear that woman giving a financial report, a clear understanding of the expenditure. I am challenging her now. If this government is transparent, these are things the president made several trips out of this country using jet planes or private plane. Have you ever heard his office coming up with any financial understanding? But they will talk about good governance. They will talk about building the country. How do you build a country? How can you accuse people of messing up the country in the past when what you saw, you're doing the same thing? You claim there was no accountability in the past. Today, there is the same thing. No accountability. At least you said was not doing anything with his officials. You're not doing the same thing too because you're only suspending. Suspension is not a deterrent. Suspension is just a rest. Suspension is just like basketball game. You go, you sit down for a while, then you come back. In football game, that red card. In politics, red card. Let's go. Let's just take a few calls. Let's go. You want to go straight to the point. You don't want to provide history. Just go straight to the point with your position. 0772-23-9933, 0886-304497. The women's line 0777-98-0375. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from Apropos Corner, down Coast Hill, Winter Community. Mr. Andrew, thank you for your steering discussion. And I just want to make my input on 2 points. Now, one has to do with this trip to America. I'm thinking Guinea-Bissau is noted in Africa to be one of the transit points for transiting, illegal substances to America and Europe. If our president is invited with such a country that has a kind of history, is worrisome. To me, the trip requires full answer, than the merit of
No,
what
that
you
should
guys
not be
have
your
done.
that should not be your concern of inviting Liberia alongside Guinea. That is not the issue. No,
Yeah,
no,
the
Chief.
issue, the
Chief,
issue here is that you guys
Chief, they
are
can
making it to
even
make.
no, that is not the issue. Everybody, every country they invited them for a reason based
Yeah,
on what they have seen of those 5 countries
yeah,
economically, minerally, all the lay. And that's the reason. So the way
okay,
you should focus
okay,
your attention.
let's make a progress and let me make my last point. My last point has to do with Kanyo Bagbala. I can remember in 2017, Kanyo ran a show that used to be Duke, Kanyo and this guy from Bonkan. They ran a show that they were critical of President Weah, and when President Weah came to power, he did not look at what they said, he got him back. So Kanyo going against whatsoever the CDC is doing today is that strange to some of us.
No, he has not gone. Listen, you're not getting it. He has not gone against CDC. He said he remains a sedition. He is giving his position on the July 17th protest, but the way he is saying it as if.
Yeah. That's why some of us are looking at his
hand. So they're not party protest. He's not going against CDC.
Yeah, Mr. Andrews, we know some of them will come and then they will come out with this kangaroo mentality.
All right, Chief.
They can't pretend to be sedition, but yet they stab us in the back. I believe what he's saying is not fair to what he's saying.
Thank you.
Just trying to be somehow.
Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Yes, call your name and where you from, and then you just go straight to the point.
Thank you, Lord Johnson. I thank you for the fascinating discussion, Mr. Sam Andrew. Mr. Sam Andrew, Liberia has a very serious problem that very complex.
What is it? What is it, Chief? Time is of the essence.
The land that you read from Kanyo Barbara, a lawyer, and a lawyer to get it, he posted and those he want to condemn that the protest. I think that is quite unfortunate. You see, these are people that claim to be an educated people, and they are proving to us that they cannot survive out of government. So what is the innovation? What is the intent of going to school? So to survive on state resources, I think that is very much quite unfortunate and on the part of Kanyo Barbara. I think he dig and need to elevate.
All right, thank you.
And forget about government job. Government job is not the only area.
Thank you, Chief.
Kind of power.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Andrew, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, my name is Stephen. Call from Crystal Police around Habel. Yeah, thank you for the show. Our part. Well, is for America to be inviting the two Bakai this time, and then our brothers are excited. Then I don't know how they are learning. It's like because when Ratel Nigeria gave that speech that day, they were clapping, and that was just proof about what she said. That America has taken more for me. I buy into that statement, and I agree with it 100% because anytime we have a leader who wants to for this country, America will make sure they remove the trouble. They did trouble, and you saw the one of the we have Marco McCarthy where they were crossing North here every day giving press conference because we have a developing country every day. And we said it. Now, what I'm going over there is for the HPA. Now, the teachers they need to make it a different company.
All right, Chief. Thank you.
The United States is. Our country is a criminal country, and they don't want to do anything good in the country. They want to help people. Why can't they help? Look at what they are saying.
Thank you, sir.
They tell debate against SSA.
Thank you, Chief. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. The problem is that if it comes to
Chief, you went off. You went off. John Ballard has got his reward for blasting. He is the ambassador nominated to Nigeria, and he will be confirmed by the Senate. Hello.
How are you, Sam Andrew?
I'm fine.
Yeah, there is Pastor McGill.
Pastor McGill?
Pastor McGill.
McGill what now?
Aaron McGill.
Let's hear you, Pastor Aaron McGill.
Yeah. Well, for me, I would like to say this to be very blunt. Liberia in America is just a traditional heritage problem. And the leaders that have been in stewardship of this country have been the one to have filled the Liberian people that I feel. Because the fact of the matter, it is two-way street. America gave, and you should utilize it perfectly for the good of the state. But almost everybody here works for their own personal aggrandizement. So that's one of the problems. There is my own contribution so far.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Salient one. Thank you. Let's get the women's line, if any. If not, then we continue with the men. Hello.
Hello. Sam, Acha.
Yeah, you are on the line.
I was on the line calling.
Yeah, what is your name?
Yes, protest. My name Grandma Elizabeth Murray. The protest here, some of us too old and weak that will not be in the front page for that period needed. Macha, if I tell you, say some of us sitting down here, as I told you the last time about the water part, and nobody come to my he'll go and make our way. People are dying hungry. Sickness are killing people because people are used to help people. Same matter, they're not working again. Some of them voted for this man, and yet they found themselves in a way that they didn't say know what to do. Some of us, our children were against us. They talk to us all kinds of ways. They really want to talk to us because of Georgia. If I tell you what happened to me during this voting period, I said we were going inside. The children closed the gate. That was not small fighting. But God spared some of us life. Some of us didn't know how to talk on radio. That's why we can't call to talk sympathy. But those who going for the protesting, I ask all of them to start singing the 23rd Psalm from the 10th. God will carry them through. Whosoever that will stand in their way, God will take them from their way.
Okay.
Because it is not easy.
All right. You stay on? You going off? Okay. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sir Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Calling from Johnsonville. Thank you very much, my brother, for the topic. I just want to say one thing to my brother. Can you back Bara from Grange there? Can you back Bara? Can you back Bara? 2 times I call you. I'm your sister, I'm your auntie. They say you know, boy, and then put your father in jail, in Sobi, and you put your father in Sobi. For so many years, President, we have come and free your father with the other Grange there. And Tony, President, we have come to power. You know, to balance it. He said, "Oh, I'm going for crime people to get us on and draw." The men, all the country.
Talk what the men say. Talk what the men say. They're not granting and they're not tribal thing. I talk the men position. The thing the men say. No.
The thing what the men say, I am coming to.
No, but you don't got to talk tribal thing. They're not tribal thing at all. I explain the man position.
We wait for protest. They say,
hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Now, my say.
Yeah, my better let you hear.
Yeah. I want to go make parable. They say they pay what get for what get for whisper for when eat that pay get for your which that be Bakai. Yeah. You are supporting him, feeding him today. 2 times he wants to job. I saw a woman here, job. I must say, what place I job? I see a say.
The man say, the boss say, Jovial went to America to see the American president, so Boaga go there to so equal. Yeah, see these people, man, that may be more.
All right, let me ask also. The
Jovial, I think 49, you know. Yeah, I think, I'm not too sure, but I think between 29, 49, there were many. Boaga owned at 5.
Yeah. Now we can play the 5. You don't do the thing right. They don't get sent. The whole of that was country. While they were for far country, they put it to come out and be a money all country there.
Yeah, that's true.
They were there. They not this class. They say local.
But
anything they run away.
My best, oh. My best, you know something? They call.
You know, it's different for both.
Yeah.
You said that a poor bring together a neighbor. And after some way, nobody all you know.
That's true.
I get a van that will live for long.
Exactly.
Okay. Tell you my answer because the same I know how to read. Okay. Tell your same party, the same party. The sum of more people. So we are time. That is sum of 5%. 30 on a 1 PA.
Exactly. You get it. You get it, my Beze. You see, you know both, but you get wisdom. You see? 5 Jobia time they invited many of them, but Boaga time that only 5. And before Boaga go there, that confusion. And you see, plenty things have been happening. So the people say, let's call a mayor and put it in a faith. The thing they call Boaga for is different from we are on. We are the own our good thing. People say, okay, let's develop, let's do this, let's do that. But Boaga on, the way the people look at it, they say no. They think we got to call the man and all the friends and pull it in your face. So Boaga start trembling. They start telling Boaga when you go there, what you must say, how you must say it. Yeah. It's different.
Yeah. So you they were afraid I'm over that guy going to get you.
Oh, my best, you know Donald Trump, eh?
Yeah.
He had quite a call, eh?
Yeah. They were for me. They have an apple. What is the I love you? Pre-calling the calling him.
Oh, you talking about Boaga? You say you were afraid that Boaga have an apple?
Okay.
And my best, you know Donald Trump ain't not see the man? The man can, you see the man, but let me tell you, when the man talking to you, the man can look straight in your eyeball. The man can bob the owl. The man can looking at you straight. The man can smile. So I think okay. Okay, my all right, thank you. I can jump over. Hello. Yeah.
Dr.
Massey. Yeah. Let's hear you, Dad.
Thank you. Lord, my son. Me talk to Bagbara, my brother. What want to say? We want to campaign for president. We are doing Bagbara. We are inform me. Maybe let's sound like Bagbara over there. Today, he came back on we are and say because he wants job. He that job he wants. That man need job. He need attention for bottle. Why you doing that thing? When the protesting, all in the country, what Bagbara? Ain't going in the country. What Bagbara? Bring our money back, continue law, bring it back. We tire of something, bring it back. All the protest or police in front of the armed battle. What the country you are? The protest you just seek for permission. They said no. Protest said no. We worry. Who permission on the protest? Who got in the process? When you say, oh, what do you protest for? We must say what you protest for. Because we suffer, he break all the laws in the country. Now you tell you, what put it on. What you doing in the country not correct. Breaking our laws. The rule of legacy have been broken. You can't point doing selected parties. They don't want to protest. And also we are suffering in this country. What you doing? What you doing? They tell you, tell you, want to protest what Bagbara. My brother, family, go say that. Let me give you joy. You want you give it to you. Look, this day you president What time? Because we are there a lot of the country. So go control my brother Andrew. You can't need what we are there. You can't need me.
Okay.
People are in command of official donate la import of the day. He said it was free, pay that stupid. People are doing it. You want us that we are paying that stupid for football playing money. You know that one. You are so free, you are playing China, selling surgery in your place there. We are one that selling it.
All right. Thank you, Dad.
Then you walk out, you walk out there. So say you go America, the first one, what you might know. Me, I know they're not wrong. He gets this, he's playing with she get low rate. You say it's the way he did. It was wrong. And then you're playing your face.
All right.
You will come with sourness in you. You will make your heart to pour that again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, what the paper is reporting after we've talked about what democratic tenant is. You can't deny the people. I like this caption from the Liberian Investigator. It is an opinion piece. It said, democracy fundamentally collapses when the voices of its citizens are labeled as disfavor and excessive. No democratic government can fulfill its sacred duty by dismissing the will and conciliation of the people. You want to get this piece again. Democracy fundamentally collapses when the voices of its citizens are labeled as disfavor and excessive. No democratic government can fulfill its sacred duty by dismissing the will and conciliation of the people. When you cannot, in a house, the mother listens to the daughter. When the daughter is agitating or dissatisfied, the daughter is complaining, the mother gave ear. That's democracy. The father listens to whatever happened. That's democracy. That's protest. Everywhere. You have to respect it. This is a key criteria. If you should have the respect of the international community, respect the will of the people. It is undemocratic. It is dictatorial, tyrannical, despotic. When the rights, the will, freedom to assemble, free speech, everything is suppressed, repressed, suffocated, and you still pride yourself as democratic government. No, you are undemocratic. That alone can discourage investors from coming. Yeah, American in the Senate last week, he acknowledged that investors are not coming into the country and what the government needs to do to attract investments coming in. What we see around is just the rhetorics. Oh, yes. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Senator.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Sam, this is the one of Sabu Rasta. Sam, I'm phoning in from Point 4 to be specific about geographical location in Zimbabwe.
My man, the July 17th protest is on. You will be part of it, or you will just say it because you're on the air.
Sam Andrew, I can't wait to see the day. Let me imagine, Sam, can you imagine my spirit image? They're itching. Say, can you imagine? I can't even sleep. I can't sleep. I've been waiting until I pray every day for today to even to July 17th. Sam, I know what July 17th ain't wasting time.
Okay,
but
thank you.
The issue because the candidate is asking why we are going to protest. As Sabu Rasta, I'm going to protest because Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution say every January of working Monday, the law say the president shall go to the House of Legislature in a joint session and present his annual report before the House of Plenary in the House of Legislature. Who shall be the legitimate speaker in the law? The constitutional speaker for being sitting there to preside over that session. But in the case of Joseph Bakai, we saw Junta speaker who called himself Richard Namweko. He was the one who was presiding. So I'm going to protest because Bakai told us, yeah, I got Mamaka Benede say they were bringing yellow, they brought in yellow machine. They were bringing 2 in the past today. They tell us, Vice President go internal to go make arrangement. So I'm going to protest because Bakai told me say it will not be business.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, Sir Andrew, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is David D. Vanney.
David Vanney?
Yeah, from Cotton.
Will you be at the protest or will you join the protest on July 17th?
By the grace of God, we pray for long life, wisdom, and favor. I told you this morning the food that the people cook, they refuse to taste it. We taste it. And we know the food, know the formula of cooking it. We cook that food, and we do. We eat our own. We serve them on the
So you
table.
will be at the protest.
Everybody will enjoy that.
You will get involved with the protest. You will be a part.
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
100%.
Thank you.
100%. Hope you all, brother.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Edmund. You know, you say I put in squarely this morning when Compton was on the show. Look, there is no way that anybody can discourage us. If they do, then it is level us. Then I will just come on the media and appeal to you people that you two that are being on this media advocating for us, pushing for us. You have to leave the talk show for about 1 month or 2 months and don't see what will happen yet. Clear. Look, it's not about Malu. I said it. If Malu cross over today to Bakai, it's going to be a big news for them. And you're going to get a car, you're going to get money, you're going to get a job. But you don't want to sell your personal green, even when you bring it, you want to buy it. You that used to sell according to 5, 6, 7 cartons. Now when you buy half carton of chicken, they can't finish. You are the one we are talking about. If you feel say it's okay, you want to stay away because these jokers are coming around you, bringing all kind of news around you, you can sit down. It will not affect Malu. Oh, the guy got small money. And when they cross, they will get some alley today. But it is about us to stand up that we're not been talking. It is time that the environment has been created so that we can come out and express it to Bakai. As for his trade in the U.S., we said it. Let's see how that play out. If Bakai will go to Tanzania, he will not able to even represent Liberia, where they got to take microphone from in here. They want more about the White House. What is he going to say? They're only going to be yes, sir, because it's about interest. People have said their money will be used for their interest and to counter channel. It is clear they're not having it.
Right.
And why? Then the two of our people here, they are been spawning anti-America, which of course we don't want it. So he's going to face it. Let's see what comes up from there. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be anything that's going to go online. But no, it's not going to be.
You know what the atmosphere is now, Emoka? They are having their hands at their chest, hoping that everything ends well. They're not too sure.
Yeah. And you guys can do well for this. They can refer to you for our opposition. That presentation of you last week, that what helped them. They were able to come to themselves and say, oh no, something happening somewhere. You don't do that. Invitation, you rejoicing when you don't know why it's in there. We wish him well. We hope that he bring everything for us. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for calling, Mr. Carr. The thing in America for joke. Donald Trump, the man has 4 years. The year we play with tenure, the man has 4 years. So the man not joking. When he has 6 years, you can relax. Then they sitting over there enjoying themselves, doing all kinds of stuff. 4 years, you're under pressure. Then Donald Trump here for it. You'll see that meeting will be carried live, just how the meeting between Donald Trump and the president of Russia was live. You will see our president, Mauritanian president, and the other countries will be live. Nothing will be hitting, no closed door meeting. Be live. You will see it. You will hear it, and everybody will know the outcome before they can come back home. Hello.
Yeah, welcome, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
I'm thinking to reporting for the forum. Yeah, to the issue of the kind of Barbara, I want to ask you.
So that it want the kind of Barbara now that want you to hang on. You have to forget about Kanyo talk about the protest. That the protest, Kanyo express his opinion. So will you be at the protest?
For the protest, I'm not involved in protest.
Ah.
That the government that brought posted or wanted. And that the government there for them. So why should I go protest?
So
you told the people yesterday that the government was not correct. They say that
but that the government they're not the government protesting against itself.
Yeah, when I think that the people that voted for the government, they will go do what they go protest. And that the government said what wanted.
But they're not the government protesting against itself. So why wouldn't you be get involved with the protest, or you just afraid? Eh?
I'm afraid, but I'm interested. Like what protest I brought that wanted, and I brought that there.
So yeah, so Bakai there now. So it means the wrongs that Bakai doing, the way Bakai is leading the country by way. The Constitution say you can move and present your petition, which means your plans, your dissatisfaction.
We got to bear it because we told the people to come on.
That's the issue there, man. Some of you just come. Most of you will not be at that place, and you're not being telling the truth. When they having protests here, you can just say, "Oh, I went to the protest," and when you come, but you can go nowhere. Now we're getting to know. You see, God exposing your small. Yeah. So even if the people voted Joe Bakai, does that mean that they can say anything against Joe Bakai, or they can protect Joe Bakai doing everything right? Hello.
Hello, Sir Andrew.
Cut off the radio. Cut off your radio.
Oh no, I'm not sorry. Sir Andrew. I will be at that protest. I'll be in the forefront when you have a black. There will be at that protest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This group, how are they called? Concern, eh? Yeah, they endorse the July 17th protests. They are called Concerned Civil Society. Concerned Civil Society. They endorse the July 17th protests. Yeah. Concerned Civil Society Organizations. Concerned Civil Society Organizations. They announced formally their participation in the July 17th protests to call their government to attention, to present their position to the government. It is not going to be violent because the government will not want you to get out. So they will portray it like protest is violent and it's going to be violent, and their surrogate will spray it. But don't listen to them. Just imagine yesterday what they were saying, how they were justifying why they should come out, and they came out. And the protest did not turn violent. They protested. They went home. The government provided security for them. I have several of those protests. I have several of them. Several of them during the Weah's administration. Those protests at Unity Party. One of them, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, was there with his broom sweeping. They have placards. Another protest right in front of the Capitol building, besides the June 7 protest. There were several. I have majority, let me not say all, but I have majority of them. Sometimes I put some on for people to see on my page. Today, I share some in our various groups, and I told them, you share them, you spread it, so that the very people will know that they did it in the past. Nothing happened to them. It did not turn violent. They supported it to the letter. They operated under the banner of the Constitution, and they were right. So the same applies today. Anything short of allowing the people to exercise their democratic, constitutional, fundamental right, the government is undemocratic, unconstitutional, dictatorial, might makes right, the Machiavellian theory. Don't be afraid. No, you don't be afraid. I have always supported protest. I was on Capital FM. I supported from the Constitution everywhere I sit, because I see it in the Constitution, just like I support what I see in the Bible. It is the fundamental right of people. You can't deny them that right. The law say they have the right to assemble. They have the right to petition their leaders. And petition simply means a statement. All of us do that every day. At the close of the day, when you finish with everything, you go in the office and submit your position to the boss. You have presented your petition for appraisal. And what the boss says, okay, I receive it. It means that's your position. In the home, the wife presents her petition to the husband, and the husband says, okay, I will look at it. And you hear the wife is saying that I'm still waiting on my husband. I told him everything. I expressed myself, and he said he's going to look at it. That's petition right there. That's protest. Protest simply means petition. It means gathering to present one's intent. The people who wrote the Constitution, they were not educated people. You think they were just written from heaven and they chunk down, God gave it knowledge, and they know what it is. They went to school. You're the women, your protest, the men protest. Protest is everywhere, every day, all around the world as we speak, protest. But they will make you to understand protest to mean violence. It is never violent. No. Right now, I am talking. I am expressing myself against what is happening or what is happening in the country. I am protesting. Not against Mr. President, not against the country, but what is unfolding, in my opinion, they are not right. So what do? Can I go to Mr. President, hold him by his shirt, and say, you have to do this? No. The law say assemble peacefully. There can be one person assembly. There can be 2, 3. It can be done. Protest can be done different ways. You can assemble in group to a particular place. You can get to a radio station and make your position. You can write an article and it is in the paper. You can get on your Facebook and do an article or a write out, or you can do a podcast video and everybody will see, just like you see people doing. You see it all over. Who goes to those people and arrest them? What they say turn into violence? No. But they will make you to feel that protest is violent because they feel that you are uneducated. And you make them to make you to feel that way because you believe it outrightly. A democratic government will allow America that is not even perfect, but pride itself on being the greatest democracy of the world. America allowed protest. The American government allowed the people to come out and express their right. Express themselves in a peaceable manner. And that's why the framers of our Constitution inserted that word, peaceable. Meaning, the organizers, they are under obligation to make sure that everything worked out as planned, nothing goes to the contrary. The great America, with all the things all the violent acts that occurred in America, broad day killing, night killing, early morning killing, all kinds of things happening in America, yet America proud itself on being the greatest democracy. They do not suppress freedom of assembly. They do not suppress free speech. They do not say you will have to seek permit. They grant the people the right because it is enshrined in the Constitution. It is an inalienable right. You can't deny people of it. You, as the state, can provide protection. America. Where Bakai gone? Let Bakai sit in front of Donald Trump and ask Donald Trump, do you people allow protests here? Donald Trump will just kidding on that. America, we see it every day. America does not infringe on people's right. They do not. The last time they had that something with the senator that they had to bundle up based on what happened in the country, and the police director came to give a news conference to address the nation. What did the police director say at the end of it? He said, it is your right to protest, and we will protect that right under the law. Listening and watching, I said, I hope our police director here, Gregory Cuomo, grabs that. The man at the close of it, the man said, it is your right as citizens of the United States to protest, and we will protect that right. Meaning, we will not suppress it. You will come out, will provide the protection, you will state your position to your state governor or your representative or senator or president, and you return. Why wouldn't you want to do that in Liberia? If you are truly rescue, if you rescue the country with all of the democratic tenets. Yesterday you said that there was no democratic tenant existing, it was dictatorial. So you've rescued the country with all of the democratic tenets, now you allow them to play. Allow the democratic values and tenets to play. Respect the people's right. The reason people talk about protests in advance so that the state, they help the state. Just so you know, they help the state. Some people say, oh, you ready to have protest? Don't tell the government, you just come out. No. Why that is possible, but that could lead to something else. And you'll be held responsible. The reason you announce it in advance and allow the state to be aware so that they too, in advance, they can prepare to provide protection. Simple. So they announced a couple of months, July 17. One of the reasons, so the government is aware and can prepare itself. So the government can call the organizers and say, we are aware of your position, what you want to present to your government, and therefore we will provide protection. However, please give us a layout of your protest. That means how the protest is going to be. So when the organizers say we'll be assembling at the Capitol building or at the executive mansion, and by our estimation, we are coming out with a number of 5,000. Then the police people will say, okay, we create a buffer from this side to this side, a buffer from this side to this side. And they will advise the organizers expressly, as we have seen in this very country, Liberia. Let me not go outside. Very country, Liberia, we've seen it. And then the people assemble. Because when you have state security there, nobody can do anything funny. So you need not be afraid. It is not just to say we will be part of the protest. I've come to realize something just say, maybe that God say, just ask the question, because most of the people that can call on your show sitting and go to protest, they have not been going there. It is not for us. It is not for us to leave the radio and go stand and protest. It is our responsibility to protest as we are protesting, which is called broadcast. That is why we say, we bring it out, we speak to Mr. President, we speak to Mr. Vice President, we speak to Madam Pro Tem, we speak to Mr. Speaker, we speak to the senators and the representatives and other people. And then listen, they know us. They go to tell the people and say, Sam Andrews is on the radio. Can you imagine saying this? Well, AB is sitting on that radio. Listen to the thing that AB is talking this night. How brave that boy is. They put the Congo tune there. The reason they're telling the colleagues because they listen and they know that we are protesting. That is the essence of the radio. But we can leave the radio and go stay and hold placards. No, we tell you what is it. We motivate you. We edify you. We encourage you. We give you the assurance. It is our own protest by advocacy we are doing here and we do on a daily basis. No talk show hosts, no radio people around the world. They leave the radio and go, even if things affecting them. They protest on the radio. They call the government's attention, and the government listens and say, you stop this thing against the press. Mr. Information Minister, why are you hearing from those talk show hosts? You wake up in the morning, the people saying this, the people saying that. Yeah. Why, Mr. Information Minister, please speak to those people, have a meeting with them, and you'll resolve it. That's how we can do our thing. They're holding the July 17th protest. If for every one of us, it's not for a certain group of people. You have to make your government to know your position. That way you can bring about change. But if you can do anything and you just vex within yourself, oh no, you can. And let me speak to the MOGs, then we close. There is a line in the Bible. The reason I say MOG then, because many think that some of them have started to frown against protest. They think when they say that the people should not protest, then they're sounding like real men and women of God. No. If you are a pastor, you ought to support it. You have the masses before you, you can provide the education and you can caution. But you cannot tell the people as pastor not to protest. Then you are equally saying when they have something grieving them, they should not bring it to you as a pastor. Because protest is taking what is within out. It's bringing it out. That's what it is. What is paining you, what is hurting you, or what you are uncomfortable with, what is stirring you inside, you bring it out, you put it out. If you would say, you stand before the congregation and can't say anything about what is happening in the country, how things are, and you think it is not necessary to encourage people, and you think if you encourage people, you'll be agitating them against the state, may I say to you, then anything happening in the church, they should not tell you as pastor. The reason you will encourage people to come, even if they are hurt, because you want them to get it out. That way is they protest by explaining, by telling. So you want to educate the people. And God supports protest. Let me impute a biblical side to it. God supports protest. Protest from God's standpoint is righteous anger. When things are affecting the people, the pastor must show righteous anger. When the people are hurt, when the people are groaning, when the people are suffering because of corruption, few people are getting rich and richer at the expense and detriment of the masses. When injustice is reigning, God instructs that the pastor, who are his spokesperson managing society, they must speak out, show righteous anger. Let me give you one example. There are several. Let me give you one. Righteous anger is when something is affecting another person or affecting people, or when people are groaning in their hearts, they are hurt, like what we see now in the country. And you come and speak out so that it does not continue. That's what righteous anger is. And you see the one that you can be using as justification for vexation or anger. Jesus, you can say Jesus went in a temple, Jesus beat the people. There are plenty of things that were happening in that temple against people. That's why Jesus had to show righteous anger to put it to a stop. Jesus protested against what was happening to the people, what certain people were doing as leaders. He said, this has to stop. Everything, you'll get out with it. That's what they call righteous anger. So if you said you have the masses before you, just as we have the masses, I'm talking to the masses, and you, the pastor, you have the masses before you, and you think that it is not necessary to say anything, to do anything, to show righteous anger. But you will tell the people that it's not necessary for them to express their right. Then they should not go to you to tell you anything that's hurting them. Any pastor who tell you, say, oh, protest is not necessary, I'm not go protest this and that. When you have problem, don't carry to that pastor. Don't carry. Any pastor who will tell you this is not right, don't do it, don't do that. But he knows very well that it is your fundamental right. But when you have problem, then he wants you to bring it to him. That's the same protest. Don't go and protest to the pastor. Protest simply means presenting your feelings. You look it up. Let me share with you. Then we out. It simply means a statement. A statement. What a woman. Some of y'all get smartphone. Y'all look it up. Y'all look it up. So let me just share it with you so you'll see that the women that I'm writing you. What the women say about protests. Yeah, yo. Say about protests. They say a statement or action expressing disapproval or objection to something. What's the first word they started with? Statement. I am saying this to put sense in your head and take the fear. Moreover, that you will know what the Unity Party people are putting out, talking about this, talking about caskets, because they don't want you to come out. They know that it is your right, but they're instilling fear in you. And what did Martin Luther King say? You got nothing to fear but fear itself. You have nothing to fear but fear itself. What that means is when you put fear within yourself, fear will overtake you and you will not do anything. You will not move. You will not do anything. You will just be sitting with fear. And fear is what the devil uses the most. And anybody who uses fear as a weapon, that person is an incarnation of the devil. That's why you need not be afraid. Because the devil in his incarnate self, in human self, will always want you to feel afraid. That's why you see all of these things. You understand it here? It's telling you, the people coming with 20 caskets. They come in with this. They come in with that. And all the kind of thing, disguising themselves as seditious when they are not seditious. Instilling fear in you. So you will not come out. That Unity Party strategy. Protest simply means a statement. That's the first one. That the first one. Everybody gets smartphone, yellow smartphone, me and my own are using. That's the first one. What the second one say? They one here, they explaining it from a law context, law. The people who do law, that they explaining it from this one. They say a written declaration. A written declaration. That's what they say. A written declaration. You see the first one is how? So the people say that they say that they wrote everything. Then say, Mr. President, yeah. You know what the people are doing CDC time? So what if forever? They tell one, they say, express objection to what someone has said or done in a written form. When people want you to do something, they play on you. They make you to feel that you are empty. You don't even reason. Your five senses is mixed. It's in random order. Respect the rights of the people. Who told you Bakai you know? All these United Party people who tell you they know. That's why we've started putting those videos out. Thank God for technology. I have many of them. Yesterday, they were protesting all over the place. And if you have some of those videos, make the use of them. This is the time. You only need to put those videos out that they protested yesterday to give added boost to July 17 and to make them to know that they did it, because that is evidence. That is convincing. They will never ever say the people should not protest when you have all of those videos out, the people saying it, down to the one that Joe Bakai was in. That's what you do to counter. That's what warfare is all about. Don't get discouraged. No, I appeal to you. Don't get discouraged. Your turn up. They can't do anything. You know why? They will not do anything. Here's another assurance. You had the first one on Tuesday. You saw how it ended. They knew the blunder. The international community took note of all of those things. Whenever things like this is about to happen, you know what the people can do? The tap countries then. They get something they call drone. For those of you who know, the educated people know, no disrespect to you people, but just trying to explain it this way. They can pull it in the air. So everything that is happening, they can see it, then they're recording it. That's why they can tell you at a certain point in time, they say the police fire at this person. You also in Kenya, the police recorded everything. They had a drone over. So they saw the police people that did the shooting. They did close range shooting. Just when going in the air, the boy, okay, let's just say satellite, so you understand because you used to that one. In the air, everything that's happening, the whole Capitol building, everywhere, everything, the post seeing it. When the people get ready, I show some of the things. I show Donald Trump will bring some things about that Capitol building. I'm not too sure, but I just saying it just dropped in my spirit. You know why? The people get everything. Everything the people get it. It will not be a surprise when they go in podcast and say, Mr. President, this one happened during the Capitol riot. Are you aware of it? Because that's why the hard Donald Trump can ask this question. The man can say, you say, Mr. President, this one happened on the Capitol building. Are you aware of it? Then he paused for a few seconds. So when Bakai wants dragging, he said, Mr. President, are you aware? This. The boy get everything. You relax yourself. You don't be afraid. You don't be afraid. Yesterday, they weren't afraid. Yesterday, they embraced the atmosphere and nothing happened to them. Nothing happened to them. Give me one United Party person that something happened to. All the way they use all kinds of strategies, nothing happened. The protest ended peacefully. They presented their position statement, whether oral or written. Simple. So where is my guy? There's my guy. Let's take a break with my guy, then Hey, where's my guy? He always around to boost the protests. He always around. He is giving real boost to the July 17th protests. He's a great guy, a good guy. Oh, yes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. He's a good guy, always around. They ever show that awful behavior was a couple of months ago, the protest at the Capitol building. And they knew exactly their blunder. They still know today, and they have come to themselves. Moreover, what they did during the arrest of the party's general or party's chairman and other people, they know that they blunder. They are aware within the police, Mr. President, all his people, National Security Advisor. That's why we say, Samuel Kofi Woods, we say thank you. At least you will know now that those people who call themselves human rights people, advocates, they were only doing it because they needed money and they were getting the money from the international NGOs. Samuel Kofi Woods, he saw how people, the police beat people. He saw how they were taking bundle in pickup and taken to jail. Samuel Kofi Woods was here Charles Taylor time. Before the week ended, Samuel Kofi Woods will call press conference 3, 4, 5 times. Samuel Kofi Woods got rich from that thing. Everything the government did, Samuel Kofi Woods, this is wrong, it's unconstitutional, they will read all. That's how Samuel Kofi Woods got, the country got to love Samuel Kofi Woods as human rights advocate. Councillor Tiawan Gonglo name was not even, was nowhere when Kofi Woods with his human rights stuff. How they call the other guy, James Verdio, Jerome, which one was at LACC as head on a WIA? I think it was it James? I don't know the difference between two of them except for, yeah. But one was at the Catholic Secretariat. He headed the Catholic Secretariat. Another human rights person too. He became famous. Okay, it is the one who all of the time or sometimes Waterspoon can call. The one who confessed right after Bakai inauguration, I think 5 or 6 months into Bakai presidency, they called him on Spoon Talk. In his introduction, he said they feel what they advocated against, they see the same thing happening in Bakai's regime. That Samuel Kofi Woods today can talk. All of those things are happening. All of the human rights abuses. It's good that Bakai carried him. He on Bakai trip. Bakai carried him to the United States to have the meeting with Trump. I don't know whether the American government requested certain people, but I saw the list from the executive mansion. Samuel Kofi Woods is there. Let me see. Let me go there. Let me go on the executive mansion to confirm that I saw Kofi Woods. Kofi Woods, National Security Advisor. The man can talk. He can't say anything whatsoever. No. Yeah. So these are the people Bouaga left with. Sarah Beslow Yanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Augustin Bongafuan, Minister of Finance. Samuel Kofi Woods II, National Security Advisor. Daniel Sianka, military advisor to the president. Jeff Bilbo, chairman, National Investment Commission. Nathaniel Kwabo, director general of the cabinet. Bidel Sendi, special envoy. So Kofi Woods is there. Samuel Kofi Woods, Honorable Samuel Kofi Woods, the second national security advisor. Today, this man can say anything. People went through terrible things. Look at that protest at the Capitol. See the number of people that got hurt. The number of people that were whisked to South Beach violently. Taylor time, the end of Taylor rain, coming into Wea. Samuel Kofi Woods, man. Oh no. Samuel Kofi Woods never got famous in this country from anything besides that human rights stuff, speaking against injustices, human rights abuses, everything. Today, my grammarian can say close-mouthed. Kofi Woods is close-mouthed. He can't talk. He's saying it. Even that Tuesday, if the police had opened fire and killed several people, you wouldn't have heard Samuel Kofi Woods saying anything whatsoever. But as a human rights man, do you hear anything from the human rights people today? Again, leave Samuel Kofi Woods. But the ones who are in active service still, do you hear anything from them? Do you hear them condemning those things there? Do you hear them saying it is the people's right to come up? But yesterday, oh no, what? They will call press conference, quoting the Constitution from one end to another, justifying why the people should come out. And then they will have their international partners, their white people sitting around because they were pumping in the money. And I soon realized this is how some of the NGOs get their money, from crisis, and use certain people as surrogates. I'm saying this so that you will not be afraid. Don't worry, nothing going to happen. The intent is not to cause any problem. You are entitled to it. Read your Constitution. That is why, as citizen, you must know your law. If you don't know your law and it is available for you to know and you refuse to know, the people who know, they will use you. That's how the Bible looking. Ain't no excuse. The Bible is available for you to know. And when you refuse to know, the people who know it, they will use you. And you have no reason to complain against them because it is available. The Constitution is available. You people are above 18. You ought to know the fundamental aspect of your Constitution. Some of you, you're elected not to know your Constitution. You went to the embassy for simple. They just ask simple question from your Constitution. You one question you can't answer. They deny you visa. These are things that you ought to know. You will not have the entire Constitution in your head like the lawyers. That one part of the area. So when a lawyer, you know the other line yet, then we know who will know that. But at the area there. But for us, you have to know certain lines, especially the fundamental lines. Those the introductions, all the things, fundamental rights, the one they call fundamental rights, this and that. You need to know that. For the ones then that need extra interpretation, then the lawyer now will come in because at the area they were schooled in there. But the fundamental aspect called the introduction is easy to understand. So you are not need anybody. The law say, they say the citizens have the right to assemble and to petition their government. That one you need lawyer to come and explain that one. It's clear. There are certain lines in the Constitution, no matter what, you are needed. Sometimes things happen here, we see certain lines. They put everybody in the news and say, let's wait for AB, that the lawyer. When he can't explain it. Simple as that. But there are certain lines you know. When I say it is your right to protest, it is a right to assemble. You must assemble in a peaceful manner. That one in hard. Put that one in your mind. But when you know it at all, you don't get time. The people who know it now, they will say, oh no. The people who want to cause trouble. They say they bring in 20 caskets outside. They bring in 3 cutlasses, 14 cutlasses. There are all kinds of things they will start saying. Then you get scared. And people say, oh, and you see that? All that big money again, we finish making them scared. No protest again. You saw how they were rejoicing with this guy, Vendetta Patrick. And you saw how all of them, they took to their Facebook, they started to make fun of it. What did they do from the beginning? They came up with a strategy, and that strategy worked. They neutralized the protest. What did you see after? Then they say, oh, yeah, the money, yeah, oh, the man give me money. Yeah, other ones say, yeah. What kind of protester, organizer of a protest will give you money to go protest? Yeah, common sense. They were telling you people that the guys, Unity Party people give all the money, now we use it accomplish. Nobody goes out. Few people came and say, Federa Patrick give all money. Federa Patrick are struggling. Then you take money to give the protesters. It takes somebody who is grounded financially to do that. The men put their money appropriately, and then what happened at work? Then they started to make fun now on the various pages of the protester regroup. they start making fun. You're observing? You didn't see it? I see you. You sit down. You want to put your trust together and counter these people. They will use their strategy working. We're trying our best, so we're helping you. You're going to help yourself now. Then that is. I see you. We're already into time. The news is coming on at 6 o'clock. That's under 30 minutes from now. You don't want to miss it. King's Newsroom. And then at 6:50 is CDC Hour with Isiaka Sharif. And then at 8 o'clock is Face the Issues with Teacher Light, Anthony Atlaw, A.B. William. You don't want to miss it. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. I'm Sam Andrews. Shalom. Sorry, the guest didn't appear. He sent me a text. We'll do it later.